Okay, guys, we're going to talk about I finally figured it out. We're going to talk about this. I've been reading the comments and I've been listening to some of the people that have been telling me to give information about specific topics. And I think I can hear it in my voice. I'm getting better. So, they've been saying talk about quantum, talk about the experiences you went through in the retreat, about Dr. Joe Dispenza and all. And then it came to me that I should talk about how to prepare yourself. Because there are certain things that I want to share, and those certain things are examples. And I think if you're not ready and you hear those examples, you're going to think I'm out of my fucking mind. So how do we prepare for this? See, in 2019, I read all his books, 2019, 2020. I read his books, and that was around the time where I was going to go to one of his retreats. And then I fell into one of those traps where I'm like, I can just do it on my own. What more does he have to teach? I already read his books, and I already listened to all the podcasts that he goes on. Guys, this is my morning spot. You see the water back there? There's a beautiful 6-foot alligator in there. I call him George. That's why this guy is not allowed to go outside without a leash. Ty. How do you prepare yourself? I didn't go. I was one of those people, I can do it on my own. I'll just meditate on my own. And I was never able to meditate for more than 30 minutes, and it was never satisfying. I was like, sure, I feel calm. You know, one of those self-hypnosis of some placebo version of, I guess I feel better now because I sat in one seat. Or I sat here and I was having coffee without my phone. Phone was inside. And I was just looking into the abyss. And I was just looking, oh man, I just realized the HVAC is going on. I hope that's not loud. Let me see if it's loud. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. I'll just redo it. If it's not, I'll try to speak a little louder. And nothing was satisfying. I don't think you can become an experienced, advanced meditator by reading some dude's books and then thinking you got this. You know? So because all of that happened in 2019, that was a long time ago. This was before the bug. And then I didn't have to do the progressive workshop, by the way. Progressive workshop is what you have to watch. His series of lectures. So when you get there and when he talks about things, you're not lost, you're not confused, you're somewhat ready. And yes, he will re-share things, re-explain things, but if you have already heard it, it really dials you in, right? It's about putting you in the mindset of being able to openly accept what is about to happen to you. Because what's about to happen to you, holy crap, guys. Holy crap. It is nothing you have ever imagined that would happen to you. I bet you have never imagined something like this would happen to you. We've probably seen things like this in the movies, but we have not realized that we can experience a truly mystical experience. There have been some lucky people that have never meditated in their life, and they experienced mystical experiences that we trained for. There was a guy, he was in Navy, and his captain, or the commander of the ship, asked him to stand outside at the edge of the ship one night, and he said, we're about to cross into the equator or something. He wanted him to experience something. They were about to cross into this area, don't you stand at this part of the ship and just watch it. Just watch it, experience it. And he dropped to the floor, and he was looking at the sky, and he felt like he was everywhere. He actually felt like he was everywhere. Now, this doesn't sound nice to hear, but when on day 3, for 3 seconds, I felt like I was everywhere. Whew. I almost dropped to the floor from my chair, and I was sitting between 2 people, so that didn't happen. But I made some funny sounds. Funny sounds came out because it was so intense, so beautiful, so overwhelming that I felt like I was everywhere in the universe at the same time. And this is just one example of how you need to prepare yourself. You need to completely detach from the fact that you might hear crazy stuff, because everything you hear is going to be crazy. Everything you hear is going to sound crazy. The whole 7 days we were sitting there, we would hear something and we would just look at each other and be like, what? Are you kidding me? Holy crap. How come this is not all over the news? Are you kidding me? And we're listening to scientists, doctors, you know, we're looking at data. They're monitoring people's things, energies that are coming out. They're monitoring people's hearts and brain activities, and they're monitoring what kind of waves the brain and heart is making, and it's incoherent, and all of a sudden it makes these perfect, you know, have you ever seen a perfect snowflake, or at least a picture of a perfect snowflake? And all of a sudden their heart and brain is giving these artfully perfection of frequencies. And frequency is information. So when your heart and brain provides perfection in information, then that information gets translated by your pituitary glands, your pineal glands, your autonomic nervous system, and then they start to harmonize everything in your systems, immune systems, sympathetic, parasympathetic, autonomic, and all of a sudden everything just becomes harmonized. Now remember, tumors and cancers are a glitch in the system. They're problematic things in the data. If you change the frequency, if you change the information in the frequency in the quantum field, and you fix the bug in the code, so to speak, you fix cancer. Now, you don't even have to be touched by anyone. You can literally be around 10 people, 10 of the advanced students like we did, my team did, and we can harmonize it for you. Now, that sounds pretty egotistical, right? That sounds pretty like, what the hell, who do you think you are? If there's an oncologist watching, that guy's going to be like, what is he on, and how can I get some? You know? But guys, we saw the data for 7 days straight. Every day we saw new data. Every day we saw more data. And I'm talking about scientific data, charts, graphs, EKG results. When they had control groups and the non-control groups, everything. And then when we would apply the instructions, and Dr. Joe would be walking among us, and he would correct us, he would help us, you know, and you would have these brain orgasms. Have you? If somebody that did not go to my retreat, or that has never been in person with Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you have ever experienced a full body orgasm other than having sex, and if you have experienced just a brain orgasm or a heart orgasm, let me know, because I have not. So, I mean, sometimes it looks like females are having full body orgasms when they're like, ugh. But that's what was happening to me. That has never happened to me. And nobody was touching me. And maybe I was touching someone's elbow. But that's it. But It was so, and of course the walking meditations, you're not touching anybody. You're just walking. You close your eyes, and if you look at some of my videos, I created the thumb tag that when I was finished with my walking meditation, I would open it up, I would look around, there would be people laying around me, and I would just capture it. And I was like, let me show in a thumbnail maybe an image of what they might be, what they might experience when they do a week-long retreat or a 4-day retreat. You don't have to do a complete 7-day, you can do a 4-day retreat. But I would never go for 4 days. I would never go for 4 days. I thought 7 days was too short. We were all like, oh, we don't want to go home. We don't want this to end, please. Like at the end, I was like, I wish I could just quit my job and just be with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Go to his next event, go to to, just hang out with him and his crew and be like, guys, can we just do this every day? And every single person in my team was feeling the same way. Every single person I met, I probably met at least 1,000 people out of 2,000. Made a lot of friends. I'm going to message one of my buddies who flew out. His family has businesses in Bangladesh, but him and his family lives in Tampa. And I met a few couples from St. Petersburg and Clearwater, and some people that lived locally to Orlando. And we're going to hopefully meet once a month. And so the guys and I, we're going to play some golf. So we're going to do some stuff. We're going to go fishing. We're going to go hunting. We're going to start doing some stuff, and we're going to start meditating together as well. So preparation, back to the idea of preparation. You have to be able to be in a state of mind where no matter what the hell you hear, you're in a receptive mode, right? There's a state of mind of reception. There's a state of mind of being in a frequency of receiving. Have you ever met people that think that flat earthers, right? There's nothing you can tell them that will change their mind that Earth is not flat, right? That's dangerous. Be in an open state of mind, and when you hear crazy stuff, and you think it's crazy, and then you get into a meditation, and you feel exactly that. Now, I'm not saying believe it, because that'll come to you. Your soul, the quantum field will tell you what to believe, especially after you feel things. Have you ever sat in a meditation alone? Now, almost everybody these days I run into, and I'm like, have you ever meditated? Yes, I do 5 minutes of mindfulness every day. Or I do 10-minute meditations every day. And I'm like, I went for a regular meditation at Dr. Joe's. And he never told me that I was going to clock in at 5 hours. 5 hours? When was the last time you met somebody that has done a meditation for 5 hours and he had a full body orgasm? Over and over and over. He was like, what the? How would you not? How could you not want to touch 99.9999% of you? How could you not want to know 99.9999% of you? How could you not? Don't you owe it to yourself to touch that part of you? Feel what's out there? Become the mystic? Have that mystical experience? Get in touch with your heart, literally. Get in touch with the pineal gland that's in the middle of your head. It's right between your ears, right between this place and the back. It's literally right in the middle. The spine ends into our head, right? And it's right on top of the spinal cord. And there are these exercises where you can push your spinal fluids upwards and it'll press pineal gland. Now, most people don't know but pineal gland have truly crystals in it, inside. So if you ever see a brain scan, you'll see these white stuff in the middle of the brain. That white stuff is crystals. We have crystals in our head. And those crystals get charged if they get pushed, if they get pressured by our spinal fluids when they go up. Now, a word of advice. When you're there with Dr. Joe Dispenza, be fully hydrated. But guess what? There's a problem. You don't want to be hydrated. You don't want to be drinking and chugging right before the meditation, because meditations are long. I'm talking 2 hours per meditation, right? It will feel like 30 minutes, man. It will feel like nothing. You'll be done with meditation. You'll be like, what? That's it? Because you're so happy. Because you just found the unknown. You found the truth. You felt the truth. So what I would do is, when we would get done, 8 o'clock or something, and sometimes there are people that want to have a drink with you, or there are people that just want to have a little bit more food, you know. I mean, Dr. Joe and his crew, they'll arrange breakfast and lunch for you, but not dinner, which was already a lot of food for me, because I eat only once a day. So 2 meals a day was a lot for me. So I never got hungry. So instead of going out and having dinner after the day was done, and I'm talking 15-hour days, I would just start chugging water. And in the middle of the night, I would have to get up and pee. So if I had to get up and pee in the middle of the night, I would chug more water. I would pee, chug more water, go to bed. Now when I wake up in the morning, and I'm talking 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, depending on the day, different schedules. So when I would wake up, now I'm reducing my intake of water to almost nothing, but my body is completely hydrated. Because my body is completely hydrated, my cerebral spinal fluid is at a healthy amount. And now if I want to push it within the meditation, and if I can just do things, I can feel things. That's all I'm going to say about the pushing part. I need you guys to get ready first. And my friends that have been there with me, they know what I'm talking about. They don't need explanation. I'm just getting the rest of you ready for what to do. I walked in blind with no expectations. My mind was just completely open, and I was having brain explosions every time I heard the data. The scientists came out when we were doing the meditations. I was like, what is happening? Oh my God, what is happening? And it changed my life. I lived an entire lifetime in 7 days. None of us wanted to go home. So we just, on a whim, decided to get another hotel room by Disney. Partied all night. Woke up. Oh, speaking of partied all night, you do not need 8 or 9 hours of sleep. We would go to sleep at midnight, wake up at 3 in the morning, and we would be sharp as a freaking eagle until midnight the next day. Insanity. How was that even possible? I'm a guy that starts getting ready to go to sleep at 8:30 at night. I'm in bed by 9, and then I wake up 8 hours later, sometimes 9 hours later. Sometimes I'm up at 5, sometimes I'm up at 6 in the morning, but that's after 9 hours of sleep. I was sleeping 3 hours a night, and I was so sharp. I was excited. I was ready to go. Unbelievable. I'm going to keep sharing about different epiphanies that I'm having. And I think it is truly going to start preparing you guys for this. When you go and you dive deep into the quantum, not the fist, I'm talking about this wrist thing. No, it's okay. This event ended on Saturday. It's Tuesday today. I just haven't been able to cut it. I just don't want to cut it. And this is not plastic. It's very high quality material. It's really nice. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. My entire life changed. I feel like I'm in a new life. I already lived an entire lifetime before this event. I lived an entire lifetime during this event. And now I'm in a completely new life. Holy crap. Anyways, I hope this helped. Let me know. And do ask follow-up questions. That gives me a direction into what I should zero in on so I can give more information, because the information that I absorb in 15 hours a day, 7 days a week was a lot. And there's a lot in my head. But it'll come out if, when people ask the right questions, it'll come to me, and then I'll share those information. So stay strong, stay open-minded, stay blessed, stay happy, keep focusing on your energy centers. And remember, I love you.